Hello, everyone. How are you doing this morning? We're a little light this morning. Who's in here? It looks like, we got 3 people watching. I know one of them is Crew 1351 because they've made comments. So, my normal ones in here are either at work or in school. And Troop 1351 says, no classes still this afternoon. They're at the junior college there. Alrighty, so let's switch some things up here. And I got to move some things over here around. Bring that to the front. All right. Okay, so we'll be starting with chapter 4. And there's going to be a lot of change-ups in the lives of Michael, Kimberly, and their families. And so let me go ahead and take that highlight out of there. New color. There we go. All right. So this is the evening of the 24th. I might as well just go ahead and put the date on there. 2037. There we go. Get that in there. So yesterday we covered the morning of the 24th, and they intercepted another group of. I got a drippy nose here, so hang on. Let me get a Kleenex here. They intercepted another batch of Heaven's Devils trying to make their way to the north rim of the Grand Canyon, and in the process, there was There were 3 semis of hauling food to grocery stores and stuff that were run by independent contractors for the warehouses, and they had they didn't eliminate the driver. They just took the whole crew and everything. One was a husband-wife team, the other one was a husband and his family, and another was a husband and his family riding in the truck. So they got those 3 trucks families were rescued, and So anyways, that's what's going on. And Ellen, this was a group they weren't expecting. They're still expecting the group from down in Kingman, Arizona, that came from Barstow, that was sent the scouts out several days earlier to check the area out at the North Rim, and they're still waiting on those guys showing up. So, anyways, that's where we're at here in the evening. A couple that was just the husband and wife on the truck drivers. They were retired Marines. They retired a year ago, and this is driving truck is their retirement income. And so we're going to pick it up with that. So that is Albert and Nola Houston. And so this is the evening of the 24th, and now we're going to pick up with it here. Susan and Abigail were searching the internet looking for information on the after effects of the asteroid, but mostly they found that the news and blog sites were a lot less than the night before. This isn't good. Internet sites are dropping off fast, Susan informed everybody. I'm surprised that it's still working at all, Benjamin said. Most places don't even have power. No power, no internet services. Not to mention that the satellites are being knocked from the sky by the meteors, Peyton added. That's it. Our satellite connection just went down, Susan said. It's ham radio only time now, Michael sighed. Unless we can find another one that survived the meteors, Peyton said. But those are most likely going to be on the sun-facing side. course, it won't be long until before the net is down altogether. Wash your hands, Janet. Hang on. I want to change this. Called out from the kitchen. From the kitchen. Dinner will be ready soon, Monica added. We should have gone with the bigger floor plan, Janet said, laughed as she and Monica. All right, Susan's out searching. Susan is not in the kitchen. I got to fix that. Trying to think who's all there. Just remember everybody that's there in sight. I'll stick. Take that around. I'm just going to change it to just the two of them working in the small kitchen. That sounds better. Laughed as she and Monica worked around each other in the modest-sized kitchen. Hide in sight's 2020, dear Benjamin sighed as he washed his hands in the kitchen sink. I have the leaves added to the table, Michael called out as he headed to the bathroom. Let's change this around. I got the silverware napkins, Monica said. I got the glasses, said Benjamin. Lemonade will be ready in a second, Janet let him know. I hear a pickup coming, Peyton chimed in as he came back from washing his hands. Where's Kimberly, Monica asked. She said she had to get something from your trailer, Michael hollered from the bathroom. Soon there was a knock on the door. Benjamin went to the door and opened it. Oop, I forgot the quotation mark. Hey, Larry. Colonel, Major, welcome to our cabin. Thank you, Mr. Clark Alberts. All right. Yep. So we had the little circles of death spinning here, like we've had since I guess it started Saturday morning. I think it did. It's been, it was Saturday morning. We've been having problems with the internet / YouTube / StreamYard. So somebody did an update somewhere and something screwed up. And every now and then I will be freezing. It's been happening the last several days. And sometimes I'll freeze and the Word doc here will disappear and you'll wind up seeing circles of death on your screen. Don't worry, it's coming back in a minute. The longest it was out for, I think, was 2.5 minutes. All right. Thank you, Mr. Clark, Albert said. Nolan and I were surprised and grateful when your wife invited us for dinner. Well, the kids need your help, but that's for after dinner, Benjamin said as he gestured for them to come in. Closing the door, he continued. You've met most of us already. Grab a seat, everyone. Dinner's ready, Janet said as she and Monica started bringing plates of food to the table. Everyone was seated when Michael realized that Kimberly ST still was not there yet. I'll go get. Sorry, I'm late. Kimberly said as she came through the side door. I needed to get some things for after dinner. She held up a big box and set it on the breakfast bar. She gave a half-hearted smile as she moved to her seat. Janet served a taco soup with sourdough bread bowls and grated cheese topping. Oh, this smells heavenly, Nola said as she inhaled deeply. Most of them refilled the bowls twice by the time they were done. Um, and yeah, something, and then the ice picking a uh, the now so soft. The now soft, but that they're in the middle. By the time they were by the time they were done, there we go. That sounds a little bit better. Gives a little bit more information in there. Benjamin and Susan started clearing away dishes when Nola asked, "So, how is everyone connected?" Well, I guess Monica is the focal point, Janet said. Her daughter is engaged to our son, to our adopted son, Michael, and Abigail is his sister. Susan is Monica's best friend, and Peyton is Susan's friend. Peyton was Larry's staff sergeant, and Peyton was Larry's staff sergeant. Kimberly set me and Peyton up, Susan said with a smile. Thank you, Kimberly. Kimberly smiled. Once in a while, I have insight. Everyone chuckled. So, when did you retire, Albert? Benjamin asked. A year ago. Then we bought the truck and started a second career. What about you? What did you do before the asteroid? We were foster parents. I was a design engineer, and Janet had a home run accounting business. Benjamin replied. Susan spoke up. I was a real estate agent. I worked at Moon Valley Nurseries and was the contract sales coordinator, Monica said, and a Marine widow. Albert and Nola sucked in a breath. First Lieutenant Army Rangers, I got out on the 16th. Staff Sergeant, Army Rangers, I got out on the 15th and followed LT home, Peyton joked. So what did you want to talk to us about anyway? What did you want to talk to us about away from everyone else, Nola asked, looking at Kimberly. Kimberly chewed on her lower lip and looked at the table for about 30 seconds. Just thinking of the best way to do this. Sometimes the best way is from the beginning, Albert said. Yes, sir. She took a deep breath and opened her mouth and stopped. No, videos first. She got up and grabbed, not grab her laptop. Someone else just came in. How you doing? Please smash the thumbs up and say hi to anyone in the chat. This was the day that the news leaked out, and she started the video of her match with Mitch and Jason's challenge. The video ended with Kimberly bowing to the judges. Kimberly looked at the Houstons and saw the grimace on their faces and chuckled. That was when I was just a freshman in college. How do you do that? Nola asked. Michael answered first. She practiced that several times a day. Now she does a triple backflip. The next day I ran into Michael at Harbor Freight, literally. I knocked him down in the power inverter aisle, and I fell in love. Need to add some insight in there because they would add the insight. Michael and I had known each other the space from ARCH archery competitions. No, what's the competitions for several years. And were interested in dating, but were given misinformation about each other's availability for Outlook on dating. I mean, this Outlook on dating. The next the short story, SHO, is that the next day I asked him to marry me. There we go. Let me hit save so I don't lose all that. He said yes, but in 22 months. We have to prove to our parents that we are better than raw emotions. Are better than raw emotions. This is she said. She played the video from the Venture Crew meeting. This was the first team up of the real life Juby Chan, the Ninja Girl, and Archer, the Super Scout. Although no one had started calling me Juby Chan in person, and although no one had started calling me Juby Chan in person, it was being tagged on a lot of YouTube videos, though. The first time that happened would be 10 days later at T9 Tactics and TEM and Tempe by a customer that and that was because of what was being posted on YouTube. Hang on, I need to put a quote in front of this. It was on Sunday, October 4th, that we were first publicly introduced as the real-life Juby Chan, the Ninja Girl, and Archer, the Super Scout. She played the video. Albert chuckled when he saw Michael in the green Archer outfit. The next day, they were at archery headquarters. The next day, we were at archery headquarters practicing, and the owner recorded this for their website. After the video, Albert commented that Michael could run and shoot and hit his target with the best of the Marines. Remember you said that, Kimberly said seriously. This next video is the last public demonstration of Juby Chan and Archer. The video ended with, "I'll come over and teach you how this winter." Albert laughed hard and said, "So you two started out as non-friends and now you're teammates?" He laughed more and Nola chuckled. "Now for the hard part. I need your input on my doing something." She got up and retrieved the box that she brought in before dinner from before dinner. Hang on, comma. From the breakfast bar, and set it on the table. "I saved this bit of prehistory for now. I love my father and I want to honor what he stood for." She reached in the box and pulled out a small display case. In it was a folded American flag surrounded by various medals. Over the flag was the neck ribbon of a Congressional Medal of Honor with a set of bloody dog tags. Larry, Peyton, Albert, and Nola all stood to attention. "Thank you. I can't tell you how much I miss him and how much I miss him." And want him to have been able to know Michael. Tears were starting to flow down Kimberly's cheeks. Michael stood quickly. "Wait a minute, babe." He retrieved his laptop from the living room coffee room table. "If you're going to do this, you need to do it right. I know you said not to share this, but I think it needs to be shown now." Kimberly nodded as Michael turned on back on and linked his laptop to it. "Kimberly sent this to me the Saturday morning after the news leaked. All right. So yeah. Now it's coming back together all the way around. Okay. Shit. They decided to go out again. Dang. Oh, what the heck the problem is with this? Okay, I guess it's going to stay up now. Then he started the video. Kimberly appeared sitting on her bed. She was wearing a red t-shirt with marine and bright yellow across the front. On the wall behind her were 2 katana swords, 4 shurikens, 2 sais, a dozen throwing knives. In the middle of it all was a picture of a Marine major, her father. Over the bottom corner of her father's picture was Michael's Eagle Scout Court of Honor picture that was on his Facebook page. Below that was the display box with her father's funeral flag, his dog tag, and as well as a Medal of Honor. Michael paused the video. When I first saw this, several things jumped out at me. First, look what she's wearing. Now look at the wall behind her. These are the things that were important to her. That were and still are important to her. Her father, her martial arts, and the Corps. He took a brief, deep breath. She added me under the watchful eye of her father. He waited a few seconds, and then started the video again, and put his arm around Kimberly. Hey, my love, my super scout. She began with a smile on her face, but they could see the sorrow in her eyes. My mom and I talked a lot after you left. I'm afraid she just doesn't get why Jake's is not a safe place for us to bug out to. She still doesn't trust us to be alone together. Heck, I'm not sure I trust myself to behave if I were alone with you. She laughed. H-A-L H-E-A-hearted. She laughed half-heartedly. I can keep my calm in a fight and not let my emotions control me, but when I get around you, got one to correct here. Oh, it's huge. All right, trying to save it here. Oh, there it goes. Man, when she lowered her gaze and looked and shook, she looked. But when I get around you, she lowered her gaze and shook her head. I get all scattered brain and need a cold shower. Like today, when I found some YouTube videos of the last competition we were at. The way you rapid fired those 3 shots during warm-ups. Wow. She took a breath, closed her eyes, and blew it out. And then another. After several breaths, she opened her eyes again. See, I can't even talk about how sexy you look without getting all hot and bothered. Anyways, I did get Mom to agree to send a couple boxes of our clothes with you to your cabin just in case we need to leave Jake's quickly. She hopes that this will get me to lay off bugging her about Jake's. I'll not bring it up tomorrow, but Tuesday I'll start in again. But I will try to keep it low key. Hey, range. I got something like that. Hey, can we set up an archery range at your cabin? We need to keep in practice. Speaking of practice, I need to start teaching you martial arts. Martial arts, so I have someone to spar with. Even though things are really quiet around town today, I know it will not last. And when things bust loose, it's going to be bad. I hope we can get everything moved before then. Mom says that because everything is almost normal for at least half a day. Okay, there was a freeze and stuff, and somebody came in and jumped right back out again. For at least half a day. Everything is almost normal. She has to go to work tomorrow for at least half a day. But then we are going to get more supplies. Mom ordered those solar panels you told us about from Amazon. They should be here tomorrow by 8 p.m. We picked up a little cargo trailer. It's not as big as we wanted, but with everything, but everything else if I untie my tongue here, but everything else they had was too big for us to tow comfortably with the truck. We are going to make a couple trips to Jake's starting tomorrow afternoon. It'll take a little over 4 hours to get there. Still too close to the city for my comfort. We should be back by 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Can you come over sometime tomorrow morning and talk to my mom about supplies? Hang on, I need to fix this here. Delete 1, 2, 3. You better bring your parents. They'll be able to relate to her better than the boy I'm crazy about, as she calls you, as she has called you several times. Hang on, I'm going to change this here. Kimberly smiled sheepishly. The man I want to marry. There, I said it. I want to marry you. Michael Edward Moore, will you marry me? She looked down. Now I've done it. Please be gentle if the answer is no. She picked up the remote, aimed it at the screen, and the video stopped. And the video ended. Tears were trickling down all of the women's face. Tears were trickling down from all of the women's eyes, and even the guys' eyes were getting moist. Benjamin pulled Janet close and hugged her. Monica leaned against Kimberly, and Peyton squeezed Susan's hand. Kimberly was snuffling as tears flowed freely down her face. Michael finally broke the silence. My reply was yes in 22 months. We made a promise to each other to stay pure until for each other until then. They were stronger than we were, Janet said. Stronger than James and I, Monica added. After a couple minutes, Albert spoke. I take it there's more, and that it has to do with the core. Kimberly snuffled hard and wiped her eyes. Yes. She forced herself from the chair and retrieved a large padded envelope from the rack where Janet kept the marriage licenses at. While we were gathering supplies, my mom and I decided she needed some better protection, and we stopped at a gun shop several times. It was cosmic karma because the gun shop was owned by the father of my father's executive officer, Captain Douglas Cooper. Monica realized where Kimberly was going and interjected. On one of my solo trips there, Douglas gave me a box of combat holsters. Hang on, I need to add something here. With SEV, several sets of MCCU for, hang on, both, where am I at here? Where's it at? For both of them. Hang on, I need to go. And boots for both of them. Hang on, I need to change this around here. For as well as combat holsters for both of them. It also had the envelope in it. Kimberly opened the envelope, removed a letter, and dumped the contents on the table. She pulled out her wallet and removed the driver's license that came with the envelope and set it on the table. Michael did likewise. She unfolded the letter. As you can see, the driver's licenses and birth certificates and Marine Corps ID show us as being 5 years older than we are. She held up a hand to forestall questions from the Houstons. Hang on, you make that plural. Questions from the Houstons. Add the dictionary. This is the letter. She coughed and began reading it. Kimberly, it was an honor to serve your father and to help you and Michael. If things become FUBAR like you and my dad believe, you might need these items. Warning, if you use them where the chip gets read by a computer linked to the AFIS, then a hidden program will access every connected database it can and change your information to match these documents. If that happens for all legal intent and purposes, you will be the age you are. You'll be the age shown on these, and you will be in the Marines. If a local PD just runs the numbers off the cards, the information will come back verified, but the program will not activate. The IDs are real. The birth certificates are not, but will pass any inspection. A good friend of mine paid off a bunch of debts he owed me getting these. I'm paying off a debt I owe your father. If there is a total collapse of Central Command, the orders contained here will allow you to receive the items listed on each of the 3 manifests from any still active Marine base. Do not use more than one at the same base. Also in this packet are your MOSs. You are both first lieutenants with an MOS of Ground Intelligence Officer 0203. Ground Intelligence Officer, hang on, I need to change that. Ground Intelligence Officers serve as the primary platoon commanders in division reconnaissance companies. Infantry platoon, scouter, sniper platoon, infantry battalion platoons, scouter, sniper platoons, and other ground intelligence assignments. Currently, you are assigned to a scouter sniper platoon that was last assigned to the State Department, CIA. The thumb drives include all the training materials and all other data that you'll need to know for these positions. Whether or not you want to or need to use these items, you should study the manuals diligently. Like I said previously, this only becomes activated if the chips are read by a computer linked to the AFIS. Only use them if absolutely necessary, because once you do, you are Marines. Side note, if either chip is read after your scheduled wedding date, the program will list you two as married, and both of you will be activated. In the little case are 24 special contact lenses for your left eye. My girlfriend works at an eye doctor and had the lenses made to match your patch and sunglasses. Hang on. Sunglasses specifications. Specs. That way you don't have to wear either if you want to blend in. There's more on the thumb drive. There's more on the thumb drives in the Read Me First file. Good luck and stay safe. At your service, Captain Douglas J. Cooper, U.S. Marines, retired. And actually, I forgot to correct this. There we go. U.S. Marine Corps, retired. Kimberly handed the letter to Albert. When he looked at it, he saw the dry stains of previous teardrops. Part of me so wants to use these and be a Marine like my father, but I don't want to cheat my way in. Michael and I have been studying documents every chance we get. We know some of them by heart. I don't think, but we know some of them by heart, but I don't think that's enough. The government is hanging on by a thread. Several Marine bases have been wiped out, and we want to help. I'm very conflicted on what I should do. Michael opened the folder on his computer that he downloaded the thumb drives to, and turned it around for the Houstons to see what manuals Douglas gave them. Kimberly plopped down in her chair and folded her arms. What do you think? Wait, Peyton almost shouted. There's a bit more you need to know. See. Hang on, let me fix this. Michael, Kimberly, go get dressed for your morning run. Seriously, put everything on. Michael and Kimberly got up and left the room. Let's clear the table for this, Peyton said. As they cleared the table, he continued. I was a ranger and very proud of it. I took joy in running new rangers into the dirt and watching them puke. He stopped and shook his head. Then I met those two and my world crumbled around me. Anyone who in all seriousness says that they eat Navy SEALs for breakfast scares me. Albert and Nola snapped their heads up and stared at Peyton. LT, what do these two turn me into every morning? Larry chuckled. A whiny little bitch. Damn straight they do. Really? Nola asked. They continued to clean up and then started the dishes before Michael and Kimberly returned. When they did come back into the room, Peyton said, we just finished the 10-mile run and are in the maintenance bay getting ready for PT. Do what you two do to make me whine. Kimberly busted out in a big smile and dropped her pack on the dining room table with a big, loud thud that was followed by Michael's pack. Holy crap, Susan said. Albert reached out and picked Kimberly's up with a grunt. Damn. Then their tactical vests hit the table, and eyes wide. Next came the plate carriers, and mouths fell open. Then they stripped their blouses off, exposing the dragon scale body armor. When that hit the table, Abigail started giggling. Nola dragged Kimberly's pack to her. She started piling the dragon scale body armor on, followed by the plate carriers and tactical vests. Then she wrapped her arms around the pack and picked it up. Holy Mother and all the blessed angels, that's over 100 pounds. She struggled to keep it up. And you run how far with this? She dropped the gear back on the table. 10 miles, Peyton cried out. And they keep telling us to pick up the pace, and our packs are 10 pounds. Nola turned to Janet and Monica. What are you feeding? Navy SEALs, Kimberly snickered. See? Peyton groused, dropping into a seat. They're cyborgs or mutants. We're not mutants or cyborgs. We're horny teenagers working off our hormones, Michael said flatly. From Clothia, Kimberly snickered as she easily hosted her gear up and walked quickly back to hers and Michael's bedroom. What's Clothia? Michael asked, picking up his gear. Didn't Jay deneuralize you, Kay? Serena, Men in Black 2, Susan shouted. Snickers could be heard. Everyone was seated when Michael returned. When Michael and Kimberly returned, well, I should go outside and work out so you can talk without me here. Or, babe, don't take this the wrong way, because you know I love you as life itself. You need, hang on here, raw emotions in your eyes after I played your video. Yeah, I felt it too. I almost jumped you in front of everybody. Kimberly looked shamefully at the floor. You wouldn't do that. You're your father's daughter and my super hot, sexy ninja. You have honor. Kimberly stared at Michael for several seconds before she spoke. Thank you. I'm going outside to think. Do you want to spar? No, my emotions are still elevated. I may be my father's daughter, but remember, he had elevated emotions for my mom and acted on them. And we got acted on them and got themselves in trouble, right, Mom? Yes, but he wasn't as strong as you or as wise. Then out of that wisdom, I need to work on controlling my emotions more right now. Kimberly said softly and turned and walked to the door. Kimberly walked through the door and stopped. Michael, I love you. Hang on. That's supposed to be more than my own life. I will not diminish you for just for pleasure. She opened the door and went outside. And that's my lovelorn daughter, Monica said as soon as Kimberly left. Michael, you have to let her know there's a difference between being strong and being pig-headed. Both of you have proven your strength and honor beyond anything we could have dreamed of. Have dreamed of either of you having. Not yet, we haven't. We made a promise to each other, and the promise still has another 21 months to go, Michael sighed. This is my fault. I should never have said 22 months. Mom, Michael, I'm sorry. I said 22 months just to spite you for not believing in us. Michael, there's plenty of blame to go around. Your father's right. If I'd been more trusting and believing in you, then you probably would have said yes when we're 18, or as soon as our parents say we can, or as soon as they pull their heads out, Monica said. C-A-U everyone to C-H-U-C-K to chuckle. Is this a common occurrence? Albert asked. C-A-U-C cautiously. No, how did I misspell it? Keep on goofing. It's a T, not a C. Dang it. One of the stupid parts of the English language where a T sounds like a C or an S. Sort of. Every couple of days they have emotional turmoil, Benjamin said. What do you mean? Kimberly and I love each other deeply, but sometimes either Kimberly or I keep having second thoughts on waiting. We want to honor our word to each other and to prove that we really do love each other, not just lust after sex. So we have this drama that neither of us counted on. After Kimberly's father died, after her father died, Kimberly had decided to yield to her mother's wishes that she not pursue a career in the Marine Corps. Now Douglas gives her the opportunity to have that dream. So you can see that she is under even more stress now. Michael lowered his head. And I'm partly to blame. Did you ever want to be a Marine? Nola asked. Kind of. When I first wanted to ask her out, found out that her father was a Marine, I thought about it to impress her and him. Then 4 months later, to comfort her after he died, but I heard she had a serious boyfriend. But did I ever want it for me? No. Michael looked down. But now, I think I do. For her and everyone I can help as one. They'd be a way to bring the country back. Interesting thought process, Nola said. So what does it say about me? Michael asked. Other than I'm confused. You don't want glory. You're altruistic. You respect others' relationships. Michael is a great planner and leader, Larry said. He was busy trying to get his family ready for this, yet he took time to help get the town of Alpine ready, and did a great job until the ancient volcano erupted. What? Albert and Nola exclaimed. Long story, but the point is that Michael and Kimberly got the town ready, both mentally and physically, to repel those that would try to take what they had there. Then when the volcano reared its ugly self, he got us organized and out of there quickly. In my opinion, they would both make great Marines if you can justify them not going through the proper procedures. And that is what I believe Kimberly is hoping for, or an idea how to become a legitimate Marine and not have to leave those she loves, Larry explained. She wants to do what's right, but in this new world, that's a hard thing to figure out, Monica said. Trust me, I know. I've been trying to figure it out myself. All right, hang on a minute. Okay, that was my daughter. She's heading to Wenco and asked if I needed anything from up there. All right, where was I? Here we go. Colonels, Michael spoke again. No, they're not both colonels at this time, damn it. Colonel, comment, Major, Major. Major. Michael spoke again as he tapped on his laptop. Actually, he already showed those, but he didn't drop them open. Oh, as he tapped on the top of the laptop. Okay. Now it makes sense again. I dropped the word out of there. spoke in as he tapped on the top of his laptop screen. SCR laptop screen. These are the documents from the thumb drive that Douglas, retired Captain Cooper, gave us to study. Every night before we go to sleep, and anytime we have during the day and anytime we can during the day, we work on memorizing them. Part of what Kimberly wants is for you to test her on her knowledge to see if she is mentally worthy to be a Marine. Then tomorrow morning, follow us on our run and watch our PT classes afterwards and see if she's physically ready. Nola put on her reading glasses while Michael was talking and read the names of the files. How about we just time the run, Albert said. 1 hour and 4 minutes, Peyton interjected. What? Exclaimed both Albert and Nola. Kimberly and I have done it in less than an hour by ourselves, Michael said, knowing what was coming. Peyton let out a few expletives before he caught himself. Sorry, Mrs. Clark. Michael, Nola began. How many of these have you read? We've skimmed through all of them and have studied most of them and memorized about a quarter of them. And how long have you been working on this? 6 days. Said more to herself than anybody else. And when you say study, you mean we have a working recall of them, not memorized yet. Most of them. That's amazing. No, what's amazing is behind you, Abigail said. Everyone turned to look out the window into the front yard and saw Kimberly working the Wing Chun wooden man, going through a series of strikes, weaves, punches, blocks, kicks, and dodges. She was beginning to increase the speed of her movements, and soon her hands were a blur. The wooden man began to vibrate from the ferocity of her strikes. We should have gotten that set up sooner for her, Benjamin said. Damn, she just moved it with a punch. It's going to need a bigger platform. Shit, Benjamin yelled when the wooden man and its 6-foot square platform flipped over, followed by "ow" as Janet slapped him in the back of slapped the back of his head. Cool, Abigail said. This is my best day ever. She shouted and ran to the front door and out it. She was halfway to Kimberly before Michael could catch her. That was so cool, she shouted to Kimberly. Quiet, he snapped in her ear. She's in the zone, and started pulling Kimberly. Started pulling. Autocorrect to. Okay, dang it. I need to go in here and fix this. Get out of it. I don't want that. I want this. File. More options. I wish they keep hiding stuff instead of keeping it simple like it was with A, B, B. Add. Okay. Okay. As he pulled Abigail back as Kimberly continued her practicing. What zone? The beat anything around me zone, Michael whispered. Abigail gulped and started backpedaling as she watched Kimberly punching, kicking, blocking, and flipping across the lawn. Suddenly, she ran forward several steps and vaulted high into the air in a swan dive move, and then tucked into a ball the instant before she hit the ground, rolled twice before she exploded straight up into the air over 12 feet. Kimberly made a strange stance in the air as she came down, slower than anyone thought possible. Then, when she touched the ground, she proceeded into extremely fast, sharp moves and poses that made her look like Jackie Chan at his best. At his best. And let me just take her movements out. I don't. Come on, you stupid. Come on. Damn it. This thing is acting up. There we go. Then she slowed down and was moving like she was a drunk in slow motion. And like she's drunk in slow motion as she went through positions and strikes. Then she stood up and became a high-speed fighter, seemingly striking and kicking blows in 6 different directions at once. After she had done this for about 10 minutes, Kimberly suddenly launched herself into back handsprings across the yard. Okay, now I'm back. That was a long one. Dang. Uh, let's see if and it's still lagging there. I'm starting to come back on YouTube as well. There we go. Oh boy. All right. Uh, yeah, what happened here? All right. She brought her feet together and bent at her waist, holding feel close. hang on, landing her trademark splits. She placed her hands to one side on the ground and moved into a handstand, still in the splits. Then she brought her feet together, bent at the waist, bent at her waist, bringing her feet close to the ground. Then she snapped them back up, launching herself into a double backflip, landing upright. I don't know anyone in any branch of the military can do that. Me neither, Albert agreed. Kimberly turned to Michael and Abigail. Abigail, please go inside. Michael, come here, please. Did I do something wrong? Abigail asks. Abigail asks, no. No, hang on. No, I need to talk to Michael alone without interruption, so keep everybody inside. Okay, Abigail said. She turned to go back inside. And tell them I said you could have some ice cream. Thank you. She ran back to the house. Did I do something wrong? Michael asked. Yes, a couple things, and so did I. And I went along with them. So can I have a redo? That's what I'm thinking that we should do. Starting with what? Michael inquired, not sure he wanted to hear the answer. Michael, I love you very much, but I'm going to have to retract my wait. We need to do this inside with witnesses. What? Why? We are going to do a redo. Exactly. Hang on. I want witnesses to what our parents do and say. Oh, I get it, Kimberly smiled. Let's go. She turned back to the house. Wait, turn around and yell no at me. Wave your arms like I'm not getting it. Why? Do it, Michael said urgently. No, she shouted. Very loudly as she waved her arms like an umpire calling the player safe. We need to think that we are really breaking up and that you're really upset at me. Then we can get them to let us make new and realistic promises. Because 22 months was not smart for this new world. It sounded right at first, and it was kind of cute, but it was a burden I should never put on you. I'm sorry, Michael said, being very animated as when he started, but finished looking very humble and sad. Kimberly quickly got in Michael's face while shaking a finger at him, and I went along with it when I shouldn't have. I thought it was cute, but I knew it was wrong, and I agreed with it. She then turned and stalked off to the cabin. Michael followed, acting like he was trying to change her mind. When Kimberly entered the door, she slammed the door before Michael could come in. Mom, we're moving the trailer to the campground tomorrow. The wedding's off. Kimberly came in quickly. Kimberly, wait, please. No, it's over. You messed it up with that stupid 22 months and not asking me when I wanted to get married. You shoved it down my throat, and I went along with it. We're done. She turned her back on him. Wait, don't rush into this. Talk it out, Monica pleaded. Kimberly, please, I want you to marry Michael, Janet begged. No, I screwed up when I asked Michael to marry me on a video, not in person. He made it much worse when he accepted and set a date in a text. A text! He didn't even call. Kimberly curled up on the couch and buried her head between her knees. No. Hang on here. Damn it, it's acting up again like it's doing something again. I got to check something here out. Okay, I'm looking for this settings. Goes over here, devices, mouse, additional mouse settings, and slow it back down again. Apply. Okay, there we go. Boom. Every time Microsoft pushes a stupid update, it changes the settings on stuff like the mouse and other things to where it doesn't work right. And shoot, what's going on here? Hang on, I got something else popping up here. And what's this one saying here now? Okay, let's see if I can get this fixed. Trying to fix something here. Yeah, Microsoft and their stupid dictatorial draconian updates. Oh, at least it's going farther this time. It looks like it may undo the updates. So hang on a second, folks, while I'm trying to fix this, because this has been causing problems with the computer too. This may help cure the my freezing. I don't know if it will or not, but we'll see. Because I know Microsoft was pushing updates that aren't showing up in their update history log. Because I get stuff where things happen on the computer and it's just like, okay. All right. Okay, so I'm just, while the uninstall is trying to do work, I'm going to go ahead and try reading some more here. You're right. I should have called. No, I should have driven over right then. And you're right. Me setting the date without asking you was stupid and petty. We should have talked about it, figured out a date, one we wanted, one that we wanted. It's over. It's undone. I withdraw the proposal. Everything we promised is null and void. No, hang on. I want to make that bold. At time it worked. No, Monica and Janet shouted at the same time. Kimberly, don't do this, Abigail cried as she ran to her. I know you still love Michael. Let him make it right. Please don't throw your love away. Kimberly started crying because of the hurt she saw in Abigail's eyes. I don't know if he can. Please let him try. I need you for a sister. Oh, Abigail, I don't think he can make it right. Give him a chance, please, Abigail asked tearfully. Kimberly sighed. Okay. And she looked at Michael. Make it right. Michael went bug-eyed and let out a squeaky groan. Hang on, let me fix this here. 1, 2, 3. Let me see. I was so intent on stopping you. Oh, yay, it did the uninstall. It did the uninstall. All right. But it still has a display saying I need to restart it because the security settings are out of date. And that's what I just uninstalled. So, hey, anyways, let's get back to the book again. Let me see. I was so intent on stopping you, I didn't come up with a plan. He turned to his parents. Mom, Dad, I'm going to ask Kimberly to marry me. I need. Hang on. I need your full support and endorse your full endorsement and encouragement to to marry her no matter what date we decide on. Will you do that for us? Of course, Benjamin said. Yes, I shouldn't have teased you. I shouldn't have teased you, comma. I should have given you my blessing when you were first kidding about getting married, Janet said, looking duly chastised. Thank you. He hugged both of them. Then he turned to Monica. Mrs. Jackson, I respectfully and humbly ask for your daughter's hand in marriage, something I should have done before. I also ask for your support and endorsement for a short engagement. How short? Monica inquired. Kimberly snorted a stifled laugh and made it sound like crying. I don't know. After I ask her, we will discuss it, and together we'll set a date. However, I would very much like to marry her before the new year, so she's not so stressed out. It really bothers me to see her that way. Doesn't it bother you? Yes, it does. You have my permission and blessing to ask her to marry you. But if you can, please give us some time to make it a nice wedding, Monica said, looking at Kimberly. I will suggest that to her, but I can make no promises about that. Michael turned to Kimberly, walked a few steps towards her, dropped to his knees before she could stand up, and took her hands. Kimberly Ann Jackson, I have the hardest time saying how much I love you because I do not believe those words have yet been created. You are the best thing that has happened to me since I was placed with my hang on, FOST, with my foster parents. For without them, I never would have met you. If you marry me, I will strive to be the man your father wanted for you. Kimberly, will you be my wife, my partner, the mother of our children, and marry me? Tears were flowing down Kimberly's face by the time Michael asked the question. She was so choked up that she couldn't answer, but her head was going up and down. Finally, she was able to clear her throat enough and said, Michael Edward Moore, I would be honored and grateful to be your life's partner and bear your children as your wife. Kimberly bent over as Michael straightened up, and they met midway and kissed long and passionately. Did Michael make it right? Abigail asked hopefully. I think he did, Janet said to her. When Kimberly and Michael broke their kiss, Kimberly said, yes, he made it right. He did it perfectly. Thank God, Janet said. Ditto, Monica agreed. Hooray, Abigail cheered. I get to keep my sister. Since I screwed up royally last time, would you care to start suggesting dates, my love? Michael asked softly, such as a particular day of the week? Michael suggested CAUT cautiously. Well, we had some more come in and go out again without leaving any comments. Hopefully they're leaving thumbs up, but I seriously doubt it. All right. I always wanted a Saturday wedding. Saturdays are traditional. I think we need a little tradition, Kimberly explained. I'm totally on board with Saturday, Michael agreed eagerly, then asked tentatively, any dates we should avoid? Kimberly pursed her lips in thought, and Janet coughed an anxious, I want to say something cough. Yes, Mama? I had some friends who thought it would be so neat to have a Christmas or a Thanksgiving wedding. A couple years later, they regretted having it so close to those holidays because everyone was too involved with those holidays for them to do the anniversaries they wanted to. They found it hard to get babysitters. Shortly, we will be involved with making presents of making presents, not a quick trip to the store to get it at the last minute so others won't find it by accident in the closet. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Oh, I just glanced over and it went spiral on both sides there. Now it's back. So, yeah. I hadn't thought of that. Sort of like people whose birthdays are near Christmas feel shortchanged because they get a combination birthday Christmas gift. Can't really reason out. Okay, December's out totally, as is the last half of November. That leaves the next 24th. I'm just, making sure I did the calculations right on the date here. That leaves the next 3 Saturdays. Larry coughed. Yes, Larry, Kimberly asked. I'm not sure this affects your plan. Sure this affects your plans or not, but Bob said it's supposed to snow next week, not this coming week, but the next one, the first week of November, before the 7th. Kimberly looked at Michael. What are your thoughts on this? The snow shouldn't be much of a problem since we're so close to the campground and I'm sorry. Where do we want to have the ceremony? Michael asked. Okay, there we go. That was a 2.5 minute blackout that I could see. When you watching to see it, that came up on YouTube. Oh, okay. I was about ready to type a message and back out again. I just froze again and went for I can see myself frozen on YouTube there. I was frozen for about 30 seconds there again. All right, let's see what we got here. There are a lot of people that will be expecting to come, so we can't do it here. I don't want to be traipsing around in a dress in the snow. Kimberly took a deep breath and blew it out as a bad whistle. So I think we need to have it at, she stopped and smacked herself in the head. The lodge, the North Rim Lodge. I'm supposed to honeymoon at the North Rim Lodge. Why can't we get married there? I'll talk to Bob in the morning, see what we can do, Benjamin said. Kimberly, the snow is coming and we have our wedding at the lodge. I believe that we need to do it this Saturday, Halloween. Is that going to be a problem? Michael looked puzzled. Not for me. How about you? I don't think so. Halloween isn't a big deal like Christmas or Thanksgiving. Yes, there were other activities parties and trick-or-treating, but those will have mostly gone away with the new priorities of the world. Unless, of course, you're thinking of a theme wedding and having everybody wear a costume. That might be an inconvenience for a lot of people. Not everyone, just you, me, and your mom, and anyone that wants, and anybody that. Come on, there we go. That wants to, Kimberly explained. Me, Janet asked in sudden panic. What do you want me dressed up as? A female Friar Tuck? So you're dressed the part. So you're dressed the part to marry us. Kimberly smiled. What are you going to be dressed as? Maid Marian. She gave a bigger smile. I have a costume from last year. Besides, I don't like the idea of spending time and money on a dress I'm only going to wear once and just for an hour or two. And that means I'm Robin Hood, Michael said, more than asked. Yes, Kimberly caught the doubting hint in Michael's eye. Is that all right with you, babe? Michael sighed. Yes. Michael sighed. The theme wedding I'm good with. Having it at the Grand Canyon Lodge is great. It's just that the timing I'm worried about with Heaven's Devils trying to get to the north rim of the Grand Canyon. Why is that? Albert spoke up. Response time. It's over an hour to get to here from there, and another 20 to our current trap point. If they come through Page and we get an immediate warning, well, that gives us 16 minutes to get set up. If we get the message late, it'll be bloody for us if we to win. If we win, I see. Albert commented. What can you do about it? We can stage the area with the claymores and get a volunteer group to stand by here, ready to respond and either engage or wait for us to get here. I could head up the standby group if that would make you feel better. I can assist if that assist if that helps, Albert said. Just then the cabin began to quickly lighten up, and a crack of a sonic boom followed. They rushed to the door of the cabin. They rushed to the door when the cabin shook from an explosion not too far away. That's an impact, Peyton said. They hurried outside and were looking for signs where it impacted when it ended up. I thought I was freezing up again. Everything disappeared for a second. They hurried outside and were looking for signs of where it impacted when another meteor passed close overhead. This isn't good, is it? Abigail said. No, it's not, but the Earth should be passing out of their path tomorrow, Michael answered. Then he noticed that there were a lot less meteors to the north and whole lot more to the south. Michael wasn't the only one. Look at all those to the south, Susan said in awe. There were many more meteors in the southern sky than all other directions combined. Some much bigger ones than others, and some were visible for just a second and were gone. Others lasted longer. Then they saw one coming from the east, cutting to the south of them. That scared them all. Is that a dinosaur killer? Monica asked, to no one in particular. That depends on how big it is, Michael answered. It looks pretty damn big to me, she replied. If it's 10 miles away, then it's large. If it's 1,000 miles away, then it's very big. If it's 2,000 miles away, then it's a monster. Just then there was a flash from it, and it broke into two pieces. The smaller piece, about 1/3 of the meteor, was on the bottom on the bottom facing the ground, and it separated away at a sharp angle. The larger upper piece rose up about a quarter of the angle of the smaller piece. As soon as it flashed, Kimberly started counting and pulled out her phone and scrolled for the timer app and started it. If we hear the explosion, I can figure out how far away it was. If that was close, we might want to get inside in case it's very loud. I agree, Benjamin said. Better safe than sorry. They turned back towards the house and saw another frightening sight. Two meteors collided somewhere to the north and broke into a dozen visible pieces and started dropping fast. Do you have a basement, Mrs. Clark? Abigail asked. Yes, we do. It's a bit crowded, Janet answered. Can I sleep down there tonight? Yes, you can, Janet smiled, but be ready for guests if this gets worse tonight. I just hope that any impacts near us don't start any fires, Peyton said grimly. I asked Bob about the properties that border us. He said the owners are city investors and never come out here, Janet said as they went back inside. So I used the tractor and disked a 50-foot wide fire break on the properties around us, and did 2 passes on the far side of those properties as well. The problem is that if the pine trees start burning, sparks will most likely blow over the fire breaks. Fortunately, I have been watering and mowing the grass as much as I could. So we have a lot of green. So we have a lot of green buffer zone around the house, but it's the woods that worry me. There's not much we can do about that, Benjamin said with a sigh. I better get back to the campground. Albert and Nola are using a single room that Bob had left, and seeing that I'm their ride, Larry left the sentence hang. As they went back inside, Larry, Albert, and Nola got their jackets. Kimberly stepped up to the humans in a contrite spirit. I'm sorry you had to sit through my drama. I wanted you to know that being a Marine and following in my father's footsteps has been a dream of mine since I was 4. Then he died. I couldn't put my mother through the stress of me enlisting. Then Captain Cooper gave me an amazing present that made me a Marine on paper. I need to know that I can earn the right to use that present. I want you to help mold me so that someday I can be a Marine, the Marine that would make my father proud. She took a deep breath and huffed out. Anyways, that is what my intentions were. Nola chuckled. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, and the best laid schemes of mice and men often go astray and leave us naught but pain and sorrow for promised joy, Kimberly replied. No plans survives contact with the enemy. But you're not the enemy, are you? No, Nola answered slowly, just Marines. I take it that after Peyton's tirade about our morning runs, you won't be joining us. Kimberly stated more than asked. We have to start slowly, Albert said. You can do the 2 mile walk run trail with some of the others, Michael offered. That's more our speed right now, Nola said. Okay. So we're now only an hour and a half. We're in, and we'll have a bunch of wait times with the internet going out there. We're at the beginning of chapter 5. So let me hit save. And it's trying to save. It's trying to save, and there it goes. Okay, so we're starting on page 94. Chapter 6 is 161. 161 minus 94 equals, so it's 67 pages. All right, and hang on here. Let me see what the next one here is. 7. Come on, let's go. There we go. Oh, 283 minus, what was that, 162? Come on. Yeah. 162 equals. So the chapter 6 is 121 pages, which is going to take a couple days to get through. So let's do it. Let's continue reading a little bit here, at least for another half hour or so, and get a little bit knocked off that and get us lined up with other fun stuff coming along here. All right. And we got a couple more people in. Hey, how you doing? So we're going to do a little bit more than today than I was planning on today, since I'm doing pretty good. There wasn't that many major changes to make. And yeah, so we'll start chapter 5, Deja Vu. And I need to change just like I've been doing the rest of them. Drop that down and go 2037. There we go. So, Deja Vu. Michael slid from the bed, trying to not to wake Kimberly. He made it to the door when Kimberly spoke. It's 4:45 and I need my beauty sleep. I have to pee, and you can't get any more beautiful. Oh, you're so getting a hickey. Kimberly giggled. Pee first, he said as he slipped out the bedroom door. Michael finished peeing and was brushing his teeth because he thought his mouth smelled like dog. He thought his mouth tasted like dog poo. When he opened the door, he was surprised to see Kimberly there fidgeting with her knees tight together. Move, she rasped, before I pee on the floor. After they passed the inn, and everyone that was running joined them, including Albert and Nola Houston in an ATV. Kimberly called out, Staff Sergeant Grimm, can you give us a cadence about the Air Force? That was weird. I saw in the corner of my eye the screen down on the Word doc down here blank out and the wheel of death show up, and then a second I did it and then it came back. So yeah, internet's still acting up, and we're down to 2 people. Must be a lot of trolls coming in. They see it live during the daytime. Go, oh, I'm going to see if I can get on there and do something rude, but they can't. So they leave. Peyton chuckled and began a derogatory cadence. After about 6 minutes, Kimberly called out for the 2-mile run. Called out the turn for the 2-mile run. Then she and Michael picked up the pace. With Bob and her 4 children on the morning run, Shannon Miller took her turn monitoring the radio center that had been set up in the tourist shop of the Jacob Lake Inn, with a couple other mothers who weren't up to doing the run. Like every morning, it was mostly listening to ham radio traffic from other parts of the country, writing down any information that the Army Rangers or Juby Chen and Archer might find interesting. Then the Marble Canyon group radioed and said they were contacted by Paige. They wanted to know if a motorcycle gang that just went through it tried costing at Marble Canyon. If so, why they didn't give them a heads up. The Marble Canyon group said the bikers never showed there. They must have believed the sign and took the long way around. Paige said they were about 120 bikers, 30 motorcycles in front, 1 bus, 1 30-foot rider truck, 1 RV, 2 Costco trucks, 2 Walmart trucks, 2 grocery store trucks with 3 28-foot secondary trailers, a tanker truck and trailer, 20 motorcycles, 2 bread / bakery trucks, 4 pickups with gooseneck trailers carrying a total of 32 motorcycles and 8 quad seat ETVs, then 30 motorcycles bringing up the rear. Hang on, let me think. Did I count that right? Okay, so we got a rider, an RV, 2 Costco trucks, 2 Walmart trucks, 2 grocery store trucks, a tanker truck, two bread delivery trucks, 4 pickups. So we're looking at, let me try that again. 4, 6, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 and 18. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The numbers add up right for what I'm thinking. Yeah. So 32 motorcycles and 8 quad seat ETV. Blah 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 blah. Every truck and pickup had 2 bikers in the cabs. They were they reiterated that there were no families seen in any vehicle. Shannon immediately radioed Larry with the information, but Peyton, Michael, and Kimberly and several others who were wearing their radios heard it as well. Michael and Kimberly called off the morning run before Larry could and had everyone head back to the maintenance building. Then the 2 of them took off at full speed, leaving everybody behind them. Staff Sergeant, don't say a word. Larry snapped. Where's my walker? Peyton muttered quietly. Okay, that one was good, Larry said. By the time those on the run were back at the maintenance building, Building. Everyone else had been contacted and were waiting there for them. Michael was on the radio with Marshall Pratt. He told Michael that he had several construction companies dig up the crossroad drainage pipe on Ryan Road so that the road was impassable. Then they made a sharp detour, off-road detour that a semi tractor trailer rig could never, could not use. Could never. N-E sounds better. N-E-V, never use. Neither could pickups pulling trailers. That left Forest Road 422A as the only way bikers could get behind them with any vehicles besides their motorcycles. Michael thanked the marshal and told him that if his family started running low on food, give him a call. Michael then called Kanab Police Chief Hanson Peel and gave him the heads up on the group coming group of Heaven's Devils and their convoy reported makeup. He asked them to confirm the makeup and then call when they left town. Kimberly was at the enlarged big map table that a bunch of the young teenagers and preteens had made for planning operations. They even made wooden blocks to represent different sized vehicles and vehicle size to represent different sized trucks and trailers, motorcycles, buses, pickups, and trailers. Kimberly was overseeing the preteens as they set out blocks to match the information that the Marble Canyon group passed on from Page. Everyone that had a ghillie suit brought them. Those with big bore hunting rifles brought them. Blake Adair had a small machine shop, and when Jake found out, he showed Blake the oil filter adapters. He began making them for 308 and 30-06 hunting rifles that didn't have front iron sights. So far he made a half dozen each. Benjamin, Janet, and Monica arrived with Michael's and Kimberly's extra rifles, suppressors, and Michael's and jam bag with Michael's 10 MWG Company 90 round drum magazines, loaded, of course. Nora, Benjamin called out. Nora, come here, Benjamin called out. Here's your own Ruger Precision 338 Lapua with a better scope on it, and a Barrett M99A1 in 416 with the same scope. I also brought you 4 Smith & Wesson MP 22 Magnum pistols, 4 Lone Wolf 5.5-inch threaded barrels with 4 suppressors, a double shoulder holster rig, and a double combat holster a double combat holster belt rig. Unfortunately, the combat holsters won't take the pistols with the suppressors on like the shoulder holsters will. Great. Oh, bouncing in and out again. Oh, we got 2 more people just came in. Hey. Nora screeched and jumped up and down, clapping. Oh, thank you, Mr. Clark. She rushed him and gave him a big hug. Kimberly chuckled to herself a little louder than she planned on, and Nora's head snapped around and looked at her with confusion and a bit of hurt. Kimberly realized immediately that Nora thought she was laughing at her. Hang on. At her, Kimberly's eyes widened and she started moving towards Nora, saying, "No, no, 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 no." When she got to Nora, she threw her arms around her and pulled her in close. "I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing with joy for you." "What do you mean?" Kimberly pushed Nora back and held her at arm's length and asked, "Do you remember what you said about me when we first met?" Nora blushed and looked down. "Yes, I called you a fake." "Where's that girl now?" "Gone." "I know. And the woman I see that replaced her is amazing." Kimberly pulled Nora close for another hug. "When you got excited over what the Clarks brought for you, it made me giddy." She released a hug and putting her hands back on Nora's shoulders. "I'm very proud of you. You see the world with open eyes now and are taking control of your future." "Thanks to you," Nora said, starting to tear up. "You saved me from my old self. You even got me," it's supposed to be me, "to admit that I really do like the dweebs at times." "I hate to interrupt," Larry said, "but the Colonel's..." Got to fix this one too. Houston's, Houst. The Houstons would like you to see how you would plan the trap this time. "Really?" Kimberly shook her head. "I thought we already had a good plan." "They acknowledge that, but they want you to come up with another way." "Okay," Kimberly shrugged and walked back to the map. "Colonel Houston, Major Houston, I understand you want me to plan an alternative operation." "That's correct. Am I limited in using what we've used so far?" "Not if you have more equipment ready at your disposal." Kimberly nodded. "The other spot we looked at was about a mile before where we rescued you in the cutaways. We can put most of our people up on top of the cutaways, and that way they are shooting down on the bikers. They can also throw grenades over the edge to them." "We can break a piece of the embankment away to block the road and bring the convoy to a stop. We need 16 three-man sniper teams, 2 shooters and a spotter. They are to target the drivers of every non-motorcycle. They shoot after parking brakes have been set. Peyton's team set remote control claymores where we believe the motorcycles will be at. Michael and I will sweep the back 30 after the claymores take them out. Larry and Peyton will use the M32A1s with heat and with HE and WP grenades on the bus. Anyone stepping out of the RV gets wounded. I'm betting there. It's their leaders. that are in there. That sounds better. Oh, went to 2 and back up to 4. Those join us, please say hi in the chat and drop them back out again. All right. On the bus, anyone stepping out of the RV gets wounded. I'm betting it's their leaders that are in there. Brian's team will take last line. Last line, Albert asked. Last line of defense, Brian answered as he stepped forward to stop any of them from getting to our homes. We'll set up 100 yards back up the road. Anyone that survives and gets past them, hang on, I want to change this here. We'll stop them with our OUR because the whole team have them now. Our Fostech. He held up a Fostech Origin 12 with a 30 drum round magazine. Hang on, he made that capitalized. We're using 3-inch magnums with number 4 buck. We found 4 more Fostech Origin 12 shotguns in the U-Hauls and a dozen 30 round drum magazines. Donnie Adair and Lori Peterson each got one of the Fostechs and 2 magazines. Well, that'll do the job, Albert said. Our moms will get the other 2 Fostechs and last line at the back, just in case Michael and I both miss any trying to get away. Michael and I will rappel down and clear everyone from the rear up to the bus. Then up to the bus. Then we'll take prisoners. If they take the highway, Brian said. What do you mean? Nola asked. Well, Major, if they're planning on taking the West Side Road, if they plan on taking West Side Road, then they could just turn outside on Ryan Road. Nope, Marshall Pratt had the first drain crossing dug up and a very narrow, sharp bypass put in. And then 2 or 3 more that they are working on. Even their motorcycles will find it hard. It's too tight of a turn for any trailers, Michael said. When did they do that? Right after the last group came through. He wanted to direct them right into our trap, and not give them not give them a way around that we can't trap as well. Nice, Brian said. What about Forest Road 422A? That is still open. He said it would take about 30 minutes longer that way, Michael answered. Gives us a little more time to set up if they come that way. Brian, is there an easy way to block it so it looks natural? That it'd take them a couple hours to clear it? Kimberly asked. Sure. It wouldn't be a good trap. It wouldn't be a good trap site, but it could delay them, and they couldn't back the trailers up back up the trailers with dollies. Where? Just before Service Road 230C/461. After 3 miles, they split, and 230C goes towards the north rim, while 461 comes right in front of the campground. Brian grimaced. We should do something permanent that'll stop trucks and trailers and make it hard for them to get by. How long would it take to block the road where you said? I would leave that to Sergeant Grimm and his explosives teams. His explosives team. Just then, Kate and Tina Jensen came into the maintenance building. We found 3 meteor strikes, Tina said, as Kate glared at Kimberly. Where at, Michael asked. Okay, hang on a second here. I got to go take care of something, and I'll be back in about 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. All righty. Yeah, all right, okay, we had 4 come in here and 1 just dropped out. All right, so where we at? Okay, so where's that at, Michael asked. Kate spoke up and smiled at Mike. The first was near the fur, I can't pronounce the LaFair tank. It knocked down several trees, but that was it. The next was at the cuts on the highway. It gouged one side of one of the cuts and then impacted the hillside of the next. It made a mess on the highway. It looks like a gravel truck's tailgate came open. We're going to need to take the snowplow down there to clean the road properly. Can motorcycles make it through easy enough, or will they have to stop and clean the road? What motorcycles? 120 bikers with a dozen trucks passed through Page 30 minutes ago. Oh, Kate said in surprise, we didn't know about them. And the third, hang on, I need to put something in there. should be able to get by but it will slow them down a little. Tina said. So now what Tina said. Okay. And the third, Albert interjected. That's the worst one. It took out Ryan Road at 461 and about 100 feet of 461. Just missed the big power lines. Came in right under them, plowed the road, and blew a big crater in the middle of the intersection. If you don't have a four-wheel drive, then you're not getting by, Kate said. What about motorcycles? Kimberly asked. Kate glared at Kimberly and said, "Dirt bikes, yes, but not those street choppers the biker gang rides." All right, then, Kimberly said a little bit louder. They can't come at us the back way. There's a bunch of rock debris at the cuts that should slow them down a little. She turned back to, they're not both colonels yet. To the HOUSTON Houston's. With this sort of lead time, I think we should stick to what we know works. Agreed. Agreed, they both said. Michael and I will have the rear. Nora and Johnny have the tanker. George and Jack have the bus. Val and Victor have the Ryder truck. Abigail has the RV. Nope, Abigail spoke up. Ask Val and Victor if they can outshoot me. I get the Ryder truck. You need your best sniper taking out the driver without the possibility of the box part of the truck getting hit, just in case it's full of ammunition and explosives. And if I get the right angle, I'll take both with one shot. What are you shooting? Albert asked. Unless you're shooting a 416 or 50 cal, there's a good chance you won't get through the window and both of them. I shoot an AEA Precision Zeus 72 caliber PPC rifle with 1,058 grain slugs. 72 caliber, Albert explained. Wait, you shot the Chevron truck drivers out of their trucks? Nola asked excitedly. One of them. The other one lived long enough to open the door and fall out before he died. Have you thought of a career as a Marine sniper? Nola inquired. I was thinking about being a Navy SEAL until Kimberly said she eats them for breakfast. They're magically delicious, Kimberly quipped. Kate growled with frustration. How can you make jokes after ripping Michael's heart out? She made a seething face and stared at Kimberly. What are you talking about? Kimberly asked, not knowing how anyone would have known about what happened the night before. You broke off your engagement with Michael. All the girls are talking about it. If that is true, and you're mad that I hurt Michael, then that, hang on, let me put some dots in there like she's connecting the dots. And this one here. And you're mad that I hurt Michael, then that means you like Michael. And if you like Michael, you should be happy that he's available, right? Yeah. Hang on. I want to drag this one out. Yeah, I didn't look at it like that, Kate said as the light bulb went on in her head. Unfortunately, you were given bad information. Michael and I are now getting married this Saturday uh, instead of 21 months from now. What? Kate choked out and turned as she turned deep red. Michael spoke up. Someone overheard someone talking about overheard someone else talking and repeated it to another someone else, but they didn't get the story right, and that person didn't get retold it and didn't get the story right either, etc., etc., etc. Oh, Kate said with a slight sigh as reality set in. So, someone, never mind. Just double and triple check that that type of information before you act. Kimberly said, "No hard feelings here." Thank you, Kate said, looking duly chastised. Everyone, Kimberly said loudly, can we please keep the drama and rumor spreading to a non-existent level? Okay, hang on here. OK's rang out from loud to muted. They had everyone set up and several backup positions as well. This was the first time that some of the parents had come along, and also the first time for the Houstons to view the site from the center of the trees on the knob. In the center view the site from the cluster of trees on the knob in the center of the hairpin curve. Bob, Dan, and Larry were there with the first timers, explaining why they chose this spot, who was assigned to what target. Then police chief from then Chief Peel from Kanab radioed that the makeup had changed a little from what Page Group reported. There were still 30 motorcycles in front, but the RV was next, then the bus, then the bus, the 30-foot Ryder truck, 2 Costco trucks, 2 Walmarts, 2 grocery store trucks with the trailers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, motorcycles. Yeah. Of the 6 short trailers, 2 were refrigeration units, a tanker truck and trailer, then 20 motorcycles, 2 bread trucks, tanker. Hang on, did I repeat that? I think I repeated that. There's only one. Yeah. There's only one tanker trailer in this group. Yeah, every truck and every truck and pickup still had 2 bikers in their cabs. Marshall Pratt radio confirming the makeup, and the convoy left the city with no one stopping like the last group. However, he spotted several of the passengers and the trucks and pickups were clandestinely videoing the city with their phones as they drove through. He tagged on that the 30 motorcycles at the back were mostly riding double, and he got a creepy feeling from this group. Stanley and Chris were keeping a lookout on the approach road from Fredonia again, and noticed when the convoy started up the incline. And noticed that when the convoy started up the incline, that's a smaller case T, The RV was a large Class A type, and the Ryder truck was falling behind ever so slightly. A closer look revealed that it was heavily loaded and riding low on its suspension. When they reported that, Abigail chimed in. I bet it has a lot of ammunition on it. I may need to give it a flat tire to put more space between it and the bus before you blow it. You're probably right, Larry said. Kimberly, you may wind up in the middle of that last batch. Not a problem. Anyone that can be spared, send them to me quickly. I have an idea, Kimberly said urgently. 23 were sent to them. She quickly laid out her plan and hammered home a very important key part. Then the motorcycles, when the lead motorcycles reached the rock debris in the road and started to slow down, Abigail shot the left front tire of the Ryder truck. The driver immediately stepped on the brake as the truck started to pull to the left. As soon as he set the parking brake, she shot the passenger, who had been spitting sunflower shells out the window, in the upper chest as he turned to spit more seeds. As she said earlier, if the angle's right, she'd take both out, passenger and driver, with one shot. The kinetic energy of the slug shattering his sternum turned the passenger's lungs and heart into mush as it passed. Then it entered the lower chest of the driver and liquefied his organs before embedding in the truck's door. Ryder secured. Both targets, one shot, she said over the radio. When Abigail shot the driver and passenger of the Ryder truck, George and Jack counted to 5 and shot the front tires of the bus, causing the driver to quickly stop the bus and put it in park. Now, waiting to shoot put even more distance between the Ryder and the bus. Then 10 seconds later, Victor Figgins shot out the right front tire of the RV, giving a bit of a safety distance between keeping a bit of safety distance between the bus and the RV, and adding distance between the RV and the leading 30 motorcycles. 3 seconds before. Okay, 101. Okay, tell you what. I am, we're coming up on 2.5 hours here. I'm going to go ahead, or since we're into chapter 5 here a bit, I'm going to go ahead and cut it here at this point here. Wait a minute, wrong one. I want the highlight. There we go. I'm going to cut it here, and we'll pick this up tomorrow. And we might, so 101, 161. Yeah, we will, we got 60 pages. We'll finish up, we may finish up all of, where's 101? Get back up here. There we go. We may finish up all of 5 tomorrow. All of 5 tomorrow. And then we'll start on 6, which is another really big, long one. All right. So that's it for now. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on my other channel, hang on, let me switch up here. Bring that down here. There we go. Tonight on there we go on my other channel, Camp Patton Family Compound. The topic is canning sauces, and once again, Tammy McNeil and of Rebel Canners and Mark of Chef Tech will be in there, and we'll be talking about, not just canning sauces, but other ways to preserve them as well. Tomorrow, we'll pick us up at 11 Eastern time in the morning, and then at 8 p.m. Eastern for Tactical Tuesday, we'll be discussing what you need to do if you want to start up a prepper group. We'll talk about the different types of groups and what you need to do as far as ground rules and setting one of those up. All right, and then we'll continue on reading this, reading chapters in the morning, and doing with the other live streams at night. Okay, everyone, stay happy, and I will see you tonight over on Camp Patton Family Compound. All right, take care.